guys, welcome back. How are you guys doing? Please let me know that you can hear me alright. I had some troubles with the with the sound in the past, so just give me a thumbs up to let me know that the sound is okay. How are you guys doing? Please let me know that you can hear me alright. Sounds pretty weird, right? Sound in the past, so just give me a thumbs up. Something with the YouTube studio making the sound kind of like sparky. Sorry. Maybe it's better now. Yes, I know. Why is it so loud though? Let me again just replug everything. Be right back. I could lower the sound a little bit. Maybe it's better now. Let's see. Yes, Herman, I could go through that. Maybe it's better now. Let's see. I hear there's some background noise as well. I don't know what's happening. It was the same thing the last time. Sorry about that, guys. Let me restart. If it doesn't work now, that will this is what we will have to live with, and I would have to get a new mic for the next broadcast next month. This is just terrible. Sounds good when testing it before joining the broadcast, but in the YouTube studio my voice is sounding bad, as well as some like weird background noise. Alright, so yeah, we are going to go through the results of May. We are going to look at the Making the Million challenge that has now been going on for 5 months. We are going to talk a little bit about which algos perform well when and why. So there are algos that one could consider starting and stopping depending on the current market conditions. Most of our algos are adapted to not make any trades whenever their edge is not that strong, which they aren't in some market conditions. But what's interesting to know is which algos perform well under which market conditions. So if you have if you're expecting or making any like technical analysis and are expecting a, let's say, bear period, one could consider stopping any algos that don't perform well during such market conditions. However, this is just like nothing that we recommend for any of our customers. It's a could be a way to improve performance, but it could also be a way to actually lose money. Timing the market is just as hard, if not even harder, than just regular investing. So trying to time when you start the algo to make the best possible entry, so to say, is a practice that I wouldn't recommend for anyone. Right, let's pull up the screen. let's pull up the results of the month. You can see it in the bottom of the screen here. The best algo this month was the Prime US 130 algo. It made 747 euros. It's the one coming here now. We have on second place, the second best algo of May was Prime DAX M3B. I don't think it's showing though in this list. Scrolling down here, we have not updated it since we just released it 2 months ago, so we have to do that for the next broadcast. However, it came on second place with a gain of 603 euros. The third best algo was the Prime DAX M3 algo. It made a gain of 312 euros. The fourth best algo was the Prime US 100 M2. It made a gain of 443 euros, and the fifth best algo was the Prime DAX M2. So, out of the top 5 algos of May, all algos were of the Prime collection. So, for you have been with me for I think it's 3 years now since I started this live cast, you know that we have 3 different algo collections, or actually since I forgot myself, just 4 months ago we added a 4th algo collection. That algo collection is just a collection of forex trading algos, but the 3 primary algos, so to say, the primary algo collections are the Prime, it's the Cuts, and it's the Plus collection. If you want to know more about these collections and what they how they differ from one another, go to ProRealAlgos.com and then you click on algos and pricing up here. So May 2023, this was the 3rd best month since we started ProRealAlgos. We started ProRealAlgos back in October 2019, so out of, I think it's like 40 months now or something like that, and this was the 3rd best month ever. I think the best month was here, which I believe is in 2021, in the end of 2021. We also had a good month here at the end of last year. So if you want to know more details about the results of each and every one of these algos, the best way to do this is to download the algos and make your own backtests. So on the ProRealAlgos results site, we are showing the accumulated performance of all 25 active algos. Currently we only have 23 active algos, but on any other given day we should have 25 active algos, and that's the results you see in this chart here. So that's the different lines here. You can see the minimum position sizing, it's the red line. You can see how the performance would look like if we had been running with 2x the minimum position size. Also, we have the green line here, which is a reinvestment of profits. We are increasing approximately 1 contract per every 5,000 euros gained, or slightly less than that actually on this green line here. So it's making a lot of money. We are making a good past 12 months. Out of the last 12 months, I think we have like 2 losing months, and those were pretty small losses in comparison to the big wins. So if you want to know like how did each individual algo perform, you can see it down here in the list scrolling. But if you want to see like how many trades it made, how many long trades, how many short trades, how many wins, how many losses, the best way to see that is actually to download the algos. You can do that by clicking start trial up here, and you make your own backtest. And if you're looking to get like, we have 25 algos, we have a lifetime all algo package, as well as you can choose a single algo up to 5 algos. So if you're looking to get the top 5 algos, there's a list down here showing the top 10 algos per month since they were released, and we have the top 10 performing algos of all time. So as you can see here, the best algo per month is the Prime DAX M3B algo. It has only been live for let's see, 1 to 3 months, and it has made an average gain of 985 euros per month. Actually, this I think is a little bit wrong. I think the actual gain is probably more like 580 euros. I think we have to divide it by 3. It has been only divided by 2. So it's a minor bug from our side, but you get the point. This algo have been performing very, very, very well since we released it back in March 5th. And I think that's it for the May results. Let's look at the Making the Million Challenge. The Making the Million Challenge is, as most of you know, a challenge to turn a initial capital investment of 5,000 euros to 1 million euros in 48 months using only passive income from ProRealAlgos algos. So we are running the 25 algos that are active, the 25 algos that we are offering everyone who wants to become a customer at ProRealAlgos. We're using those exact same algos, and we are using a heavy reinvestment of profits and the starting position sizing is pretty risky. I would say it's even an extreme risk running this challenge. But I would like to show you now how it has performed since we started the challenge, this second run in the beginning of this year. You can watch this yourself by going to ProRealAlgos.com, and you click on About, and then you click on Making the Million. So a little background. To make 1 million euros from a starting capital of 5,000 euros, we have to make a gain equivalent to 19,900%. So this sounds crazy to make such a big gain in just 48 months, but if we break it down to smaller time periods, you can see that it doesn't look like impossible. And to be honest, I have some surprise to show you just in a minute, and to show you that it is actually possible. So to make that 19,900% gain, you have to make a yearly return of 276%, a quarterly return of 39%, and a monthly return of 11.67%. And what that means in other words is that we are doubling the capital every 6.27 months. Yeah, and where are we today? This is what I'm going to show you. We are today in the second run that started on January 3rd, I believe, and in the start of this year. We started with 5,000 euros and we have made 10,221 euros. So we have actually made a gain. It says 58% here, but it's actually 104%, right? So from 5,000 euros to 10,221 euros in 5 months, that's a gain of over 100%. But what I would like to show you now is it's a calculation example. This is not a real results that we have achieved, but what we did was that we took the all historical results of ProRealAlgos since we started it back in 2019, and we applied the same reinvestment rules, the increasing of the position sizing rules, as we're doing in this challenge, just to see how would that have turned out. And actually in this month we actually got to that 1 million euros point. So and that's the gray line here. So we took the historical results of ProRealAlgos and we increased the position size with 1 contract for every 5,000 euros earned. Here is that equity line, and it's showing pretty volatile at some points here. Around like 2.5 years into the challenge, we lost like approximately like 50% in a single month of the total equity. So again, this is extreme risk, but what you're seeing now is that we have actually turned more than 1 million euros, and we did it in 42 months or 43, I can't really say. So it is possible. If any one of you want to join the challenge, please know that you can lose a lot of money, and you can lose up to 50% in 1 month. So it's not any. Don't take this as financial advice. All right, so that's it about the challenge. Any questions? Please just let me know. How is the sound? Is it better now? Let me. It does sound better. Great. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, I will get into Herman's questions regarding the SMACD indicator that we're offering on our website. For anyone who doesn't got that SMACD indicator, you can go to our website and click the red circle down here, and it's for free. What this indicator is doing is showing divergences in the SMACD indicator. So most of you probably know what the MACD indicator is. It's a strength indicator similar to a number of those basic indicators, but the stochastic MACD indicator are utilizing stochastic in that MACD indicator. And what the benefit of that is that if you're using a MACD indicator and you're running it on the DAX market, it will show you a value of it could be whatever. You don't have any ceiling or a bottom floor on what the values can be. But if when using the stochastic MACD indicator, the values can only be ranging from I believe it's 100 to -100. So the benefit of that is that you can use this indicator on a number of different indexes, and you can compare them to one another because the values will be looking the same between the different indexes. So that's a good way to just save time, and also it makes it possible to build in this indicator to any system you'd like. You don't have to really look at the specific index. So if you like the MACD indicator, but you also like the simplicity of, let's say, an RSI indicator that can only range from 0 to 100, then this stochastic MACD indicator is something for you. And let me show that in practice. Okay, I'm just going to answer 2 more questions, and then we'll get into the MACD indicator, SMACD indicator. Sorry. Lukat is asking, when you did the historic making the million, did you just backtest it with reinvestment code? No, what we did was what we have done since we started ProRealAlgos is that every month we have noted down what our algos made during that month, and we have done that for every month until today. And what we did then was just whenever we had earned 5,000 euros, we increased the position size with 1. So for the next month, when we had increased the position size, we would have to recalculate what that monthly profit would be. So that's how we did it. We didn't run any back tests. We just simply made the calculation on the total performance of all algos. Adriano is asking, good afternoon, Carl. So far I have not received the email with the test license of something, nor do I know what will be something that I can call in the real. So you're missing a test license? Yeah, I would have to check that right away. Sorry, after this live cast. I think actually we did send you an email just yesterday with the license file, but it might have been like blocked or something like that. So just stay tuned for that. You will receive it in your inbox just after this. Any other questions, or I will get into the MACD stuff. So the SMACD divergence indicator is consists of 2 different indicators really. One is the indicator, and the SMACD divergence indicator is I forgot to mention that, is pointing out where in the chart there are divergences in that indicator. So a divergency is if the price is higher than the price X bars ago, but the SMACD value is not higher than that than it was in that previous peak. So that's what that divergence means. Like, is the SMACD value reflecting the price? And that's what this MACD indicator is SMACD indicator, divergence indicator, is showing in the chart, just like you see in this image here. It's pointing out where those divergences are, and it's a really good way to find good entries as well as good exits. So let me just open ProRealTime and I will show you in a chart. Also, forgot to mention that directly after this broadcast, I'm going to increase the position size on the Making the Million account. So we have made from 5,000 euros to over 10,000 euros. That means that we have made more than 5,000 euros, and we're going to increase the position size now. And we're going to increase the position size by 2, meaning we will double the position size that we are having now, because we have started on 1. So we are going to increase the position size with that just after this broadcast. So anyone who is participating in this challenge and have made the same results as us, you should do that now as well. Okay, so which index? Perhaps DAX. It's a pretty simple one. Let's do like a daily, just because it's simpler to explain. Let's check that out on a daily time frame. First, let me increase the size of the screen a little bit. Alright, so here we go. Here is a chart of the DAX index. It's on the daily time frame, and what you got here are what I was talking about earlier. These down arrows here is pointing out where in the chart there is there was a divergence. So if we are trading in real time, we would wait if we would look for a place to enter a short trade. You would wait and see whenever these kind of arrows show up. So the settings for the SMACD divergence indicators are set by the user himself. So, and it's still heavily dependent on which time frame you're running and which index you're running. So you can't expect to use this SMACD divergence indicator to enter short trades on the DAX market, and it's working very good. It's finding those good entry points, and then just copy it and use it on, let's say, the Nasdaq market. You have to you have to back test it, and one way to back test it is just to actually just look at it, like looking at these latest 200 units. Here is this SMACD divergence indicator settings with the values 25, 5, minus 20, and 25. Are those values pointing out good places to enter a short trade? So one way to do that is just to look at the chart, like, this doesn't really look good. It has some positive falls here, but this looks good. So you can go in and just change the settings by clicking configure here. Let me just see if I can do that here. Yes. So when you click on the button here and you click configure, you have 3 different settings you can set. You can set the minimum bar range. So if I change this to, let's say, 10, that will change where these arrows show up. I can also change to I would like this indicator to show me even more possible places for entry, and then I would set the overbought level a little bit lower. So now it's 25. If I set it to, let's say, 10, you will get a lot more arrows showing that these could be possible good places for entry. But if I would look at this chart here, I would say no, it's not very good. It's pointing is a lot of false positives. It's not working very good. And what I like to do is to implement this indicator into a system and actually run a ProRealTime backtest of it. And that is actually the best and the fastest way to set the most optimal settings for your SMACD divergence indicator on the specific chart and time frame you are running it on. So either you're doing it visually, you're looking and you're changing these settings to make sure that it's as good as possible, or you build it into a system just to backtest the different settings. I believe I should do a video on that, how to make that backtest, how to make that system. I don't think we have time for it now. I should do a separate video on that, but it will help you find those optimal settings quickly. Let me try to do it next week, and we will see if we'll see if we could do that. I believe I could. Yeah, so that's basically it. You are setting the different settings and the different values, and you try to find the most optimal settings for that time frame and that index. And you can use these arrows both for entry and for exit. If I would look at now, I have set an oversold level pretty low. If I set it to, let's say, -5, we will get some good entry points as well. So look at this. This looks pretty damn good, actually. So what the divergence indicator does, again, I want to repeat that. It's looking at the price, and it's looking if the SMACD value is reflecting the price, and comparing it to another peak in price. So let me kind of like explain it here. You can see here is a bottom here. If we had a minimum bar range that would include the total period of both these peaks, and the lower bottom here is actually lower. The price is lower, but the strength of that bottom is actually not being reflected in the SMACD value. Then an arrow would show up here saying that you have a divergence and it could be a good place to enter the trade. What is the best time frame for the SMACD indicator? I couldn't say. There isn't one for one index or for all indexes. We would have to test it, actually. So and I will show you that in the next video. Adriano could create something with volume reading where this something verifies the highest volume, put a channel in the candlestick of this volume, and if it breaks, yes, volume is a pretty damn good thing to use in trading, both in discretionary trading and in algo trading. The problem with volume and with IG is that the volume, we don't have so much, we don't have sufficient data on volume. I'm not sure exactly on the DAX index. I believe we have more historical data on volume, but on many indexes we only get like those volume data on like just a couple of days or something like that. So we can't backtest those kind of strategies. We can backtest them on a few indexes that have more volume data, but for many indexes we don't have that, and we never run an algo or a strategy that we haven't tested. So that's the reason that we are a little bit limited in using the volume indicator. We are using it but on just a few indexes, and mostly just for let's say it's not the major parts of the entry condition, but it could be have a affecting the position size or the trailing stop and so on. I have 3 suggestions for an algo to test. Turnaround Tuesday effect. Yep, that thing, I believe it still works. I don't know. It's a pretty well-known effect. I believe it's strongest on the DAX market actually. I believe we tested it in a video not too long ago. But yeah, I don't really remember it by head, but isn't it like if the Monday is a negative day and a couple of other conditions, like if it's a new low or something like that, then you enter a long trade at the closing of the Monday or something like that. It's pretty similar. It's pretty simple, and that's what we like. I believe it works. I haven't tested it for a while, but I believe it works. It's not the strongest edge, but there's definitely an edge there. I agree, Andy. Unfortunately, what we did, we put all our effort and energy into the ProRealTime software. It's not the best. It's simple. That's why we started using it. It's simple for our users. Perhaps TradingView is simple as well. I don't know. I know it's simple, but I think the coding is a little bit more difficult. It's best on SP500. Oh, okay. Yeah. Is it still though? I know it was a couple of years, like a year ago at least, last time I tested it, but is it still working? Edges have a tendency to stop working over time, so, and definitely for those well-known edges. So if you have an edge, don't tell anyone because if people start using it, then naturally, logically, that edge would fade away, and you would start losing money trading that edge. So edges stop working over time. That's why we release algos, new algos, and not just keep the old ones. With that said, one of the best algos this year, or I believe it's the best algos, which has made 532 euros on average with one contract these 5 months of 2023. That algo was developed in 2019. So the edge that we found when we developed the algo back in 2019, it's still working. And I'm not going to share that edge, but if you want to use it, then get the PRI Prime US100 M2 algo. That is also, I believe, the best algo of all time. Let's see. Top 10 performing algos. Yes, here it is. So in 2023, it has made 500 euros on average with one contract per month. And it's an algo developed 40 months ago. Yep, that's sick. Okay, so any other questions? I was going to get into like which algos perform good when and why. I started looking at this actually this morning, and I haven't really found those like. What I understood is that I have to make put even more effort into it. There are some clear tendencies which algos work well at which times, which market conditions, but you can't really. I want to show you a chart here, which is the SP500 index compared to the total results of our of ProRealAlgos. Here it is. So the orange line here is the SP500 index, and the bars here are the monthly performance of ProRealAlgos, and that is the accumulated performance of all 25 algos. So when just looking at this, you can't really see any like tendencies. Also, I mean, only one out of 25 algos are actually running on the SP 500 index. So in order to find those like more clear patterns, I would have to look at every individual algo on every individual index, and even there, it's hard to find any like. Our algos doesn't seem to be very dependent on the current market conditions. So there is one exception of that, and that is the US 100 algos. So we have, I believe, 6 US 100 algos, and they definitely work best when there is a bull run in the US 100 index. But that's actually only the case for the US 100 algos. They have that shorting trade as well, and those works well as also works well in those bull runs. But for all other algos running on DAX, on SP 500, on Wall Street Cash, what else? We got Forex algos. Our algos doesn't seem to be very affected by the current market conditions. And I mean, that's the idea behind it. We want algos that perform well in bear periods, in ranging markets, as well as in bull periods. And we want a broad diversification of algos, so we don't notice those like heavy changes in equity. We don't want it to be closely connected to how the index is performing right now. But I mean, we have found those edges, so of course there are patterns, and when those patterns show up, I mean, of course the algos is going to be performing better when it's finding a pattern that is developed for. But you can't really, by looking only at the price of any of our indexes, determine whether or not our algo have performed well during that period. It's more complex than that. Yeah, so one exception of that is the US 100 algos. If you see that the US 100 index is going up, you can be sure that the US 100 algos is going up as well. Can we put the GBP/JPY algo back to trade now? No, because the bug is still there. Even though IG is replacing our funds for the number of faulty executed orders, the bug is still there, and we don't want to utilize that, and we don't want to get into that. We don't want to see that happen again, and then we would have to ask for more refunds. So we are waiting until this bug is fixed. Else we have to redevelop it to prohibit it from making like too many trades in a short period of time, and we have to rebuild it in some other ways as well. But we are not doing that right now. We are waiting for confirmation from ProRealTime that this bug is fixed, and when it is, then you can start it again. And we will let any customers know whenever that is. So please just keep track of your inbox, and you should receive an email about that probably already this month, hopefully. I mean, they are not the fastest. Yeah, otherwise we have to rebuild it, and we don't want to put in time to that if it's not necessary. So we are waiting a little bit longer for ProRealTime to get back to us. M. Shagadelic is asking, hi, when you do rent all 20 algos, around 2,500 euros per year, you do need to have 20 to 30k in your account to make any money. That is a lot, in my opinion. How to do it with 10k? I would not agree that you need to have 20 to 30k in your account to run all 25 algos. I would say that it's enough with 10k in your account. Some people even run all 25 algos with less than that. So I believe the reason that you're saying that you need 20 to 30k is that you believe that all algos will have simultaneous positions. But what our algos are doing is that they are pretty specific. Some of our algos have like 0.8% time in market. So if you have 25 algos that have 0.5% time in market, you have a total time in market of 12.5%. So this is not all algos, but what you should be aware of, that our cuts algos, the ones that we have released lately, those have a shorter time in market. So the risk that you have too many simultaneous positions have decreased. So the prime algos, yes, they have a lot of time in market. Some of them, like the US 100 M2 algo, have like, I believe, 48% time in market. And if all 25 algos were like that, yeah, then at times it would be difficult to only run 25 algos with 10K on the account. So you don't really need more than 10K. But if you would like to have more leverage and earn more money, yeah, you could put in more money and increase the position sizing. But I would not agree that you need 20 to 30K. I mean, we're running all 25 algos today on the Making the Million account, and we started with 5,000 euros with pretty high position sizing, and that worked. Well, algos stopped, algos are paused whenever there is not enough equity to cover any security margins, but it works. You just have to restart the algo again. Yeah, so if you want to avoid that, get 10,000 euros and you will be fine. So I think that it's it for today. I've been rambling for 45 minutes. I make a promise to you, Herman, and to anyone else who are interested in the SMACD indicator. I'm going to do a video on that. I'm going to get you that code that you need to implement it into a system and to run a backtest on the specific time frame and index that you want to run it on. So it will help you to find those optimal settings and values for the specific index and value that you the specific index in the time frame that you are intend to use it on. And that's a promise to you. I will release it before the next live stream, probably already, I would say, in 2 weeks. That will be how I think what I'm going to do as well. I'm going to actually use it to make some. You will probably get to follow me day trading with it. I've been using it a lot in my personal day trading together with some other indicators, and I think I will probably make a live stream of that, just following me for let's say a couple of hours trading it. Okay, what was the average gain with the 10K account? The average gain is related to the position size you are running, not the equity you put in it. But our recommendation is, if you have a 10K account, then you start with minimum position sizing. The minimum position sizing looks like this. If you go to ProRealAlgos.com/results, you have the minimum position sizing in the list here. And this is the results you see on this page here. The results you see on the red line here, the minimum equity, the minimum position sizing, that is with running these position sizes in this list here. So, and this is also what you're seeing here in these tables down here. So these results that you see here is with the minimum position sizing, and that is with the position sizes that you see in the list here. So the average gain, you say, is 34,000 divided by, I believe it's 40 months. Is it? Since we started? Or a little bit, I think maybe 39, 40 months, approximately like 850 euros per month, something like that, with minimum position sizing. That's the average gain. Andy, you don't seem to show any overnight fees, interest fees for any positions. What positions are you referring to? The results we present on the website here is algos running on with real money on a real account. So and that includes the any overnight fees, any like slippages and all that stuff. It's the real results. Herman, please also take a look at my algo backtest suggestions. But what I only saw one suggestion, Herman. I saw the turnaround Tuesday. Anything else? Did you have any 2 other strategies you wanted us to backtest? Adriano, with 2k of euro, I can run all the things that will be available for the 21-day trial. Yes. I mean, with 2k euro, I can run all the things that will be available for trial. With 2k euros, that's, I mean, too small equity to be able to run all 25 algos. You can start all 25 algos, but what will be happening, without doubt, is that at times there will be no more security margin. Your 2k of euros will be used up by, let's say, 3 or 4 algos, and then when the 5th algo wants to enter a trade, you will not have enough security margin, and that algo will automatically stop. So you would then have to restart it whenever you have a security margin on your account again, and that could be whenever one of the other algos closes its position. It's not that you have to deposit new money into your account, but you have to wait for any other algo to close out their position. Yeah. But I don't see it, Herman. I see only turnaround Tuesday effect. I think maybe it got censored or something. Please send the strategies again. I'm always interested in backtesting new strategies. Okay, so if we have no more questions, I think I have some stuff to prepare for next week. We are going to release some new algos. There are not next week, but we are working on the last things with some algos. We're probably releasing it in the end of the summer. I have some other stuff to prepare, some SMACD divergence videos and stuff like that. So with that said, I would like to thank you for watching. I'm very happy that we have a new all-time high. I'm very happy that all of you are watching this. It makes me want to continue doing it. Yeah, and I'm happy for all the support you give us, and I hope to be able to continue providing even more success to you in the coming months and years that you partner with us. So yeah. Okay, then I would like to say goodbye and see you again on July 2nd. All right, see you.